Welcome back, everyone. Chef Chris Moore is here from the Knoxville Convention Center, and we're going to get cooking in just a minute. But first, we want to talk about your recent trip. You went, was it a mission trip?
It was. We went, took a team over to central Nigeria again this year, and we had an opportunity to work with an orphanage this time. That was a pretty impactful time for us. We had, it's the House of Hope, and they specialize in taking children that have been marked for death by extremists, and they give them a lot of love, and they teach them about Jesus, and then they give them safe places to live around the country. So that really has had to have a lot of impact on you, I'm guessing. It did. It was unplanned, really. We had thought maybe we would be able to do this. We had all these other plans that we wanted to make sure got accomplished, and that was sort of something that came out of nowhere, really. And but probably the most impactful part of our trip, really, for us. And so we're going to try to raise some money for that and help those children. And we actually have a team heading over soon. Well, let people know how they can donate if they're interested. Sure. I think we've got some information up on the screen. Yeah, thank you. We've got a group heading over in about 6 weeks, maybe 5 weeks from our church. And it's Seymour First Baptist, our pastor, and a few friends are going over there. And nice thing about this is 100% of the money goes right to those children. And so it really is an opportunity to give a lot and make sure all of it makes it right to the people in need. He'll hand deliver it to those folks over there. Terrific. So, sure. Well, and that brings us to our recipe, because it's inspired by your trip. It is. It's called Jolof Rice, and at the convention center, we're getting ready to get really busy. We're entering a real holiday season. Yeah, and just this is our time. You know, we go from moderate business to really, really busy, and so it'll stay this way for a while for us. And so when I go on these trips, it's nice to kind of pick up a couple of dishes that we can play around with at the convention center. And this is one. Now, it's a little spicy. It's called Jolof Rice. I can't wait to try it. Okay, and what I've got is I've got a nice hot pot going here, and I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of oil. We're going to add that to this dish, this pot right now. Make sure we do a little bit here. I've told you, I always step back when things are being added to a hot pot. I've learned. I've had some close calls with that one. But I've got a little onions here, and we're going to go ahead and start sweating these onions. Put those in. And this rice dish is a lot like a lot of other rice dishes that you find around the center region of the planet. Actually, it's jambalaya, risotto, all these sort of rice dishes have a lot in common. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take all the spices, and there's a little bit of chili pepper, a lot of cayenne. I've also learned to stand away from the steam when the cayenne is being added. Yeah, because it will get right up in your nostrils. It will. Sure. This is a little bit of ginger, and then we have a little bit of thyme. What I'm doing now is we're just going to go ahead and bloom these spices out. This will help release all that nice flavor as we're sweating the onions. I like the word, we're blooming spices. We're blooming spices, and then we're going to take a little bit of this tomato paste, which also needs a little bit of time to cook right there. That's going to really take that tomato paste and caramelize it just a little bit, which will add some sweetness, and it cooks out that sort of pasty aspect of tomato paste. It's a step a lot of people skip, so you make sure to cook your tomato paste for a couple of minutes. Okay, I didn't know that. So we're going to fast forward the time, act like that's been cooking for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of my vegetables. Got carrots, and here you have some options. You can do some peas, you can do bell pepper, but the dish I had in central Nigeria really didn't have a lot of that because there wasn't, it was really their winter season. So we're just going to add a few of these vegetables here. And on the recipe, traditionally a lot of times there's peas added to it at this point as well too. So it's really kind of use what you have. It is. And then we take our rice, add that. We'll assume these vegetables have been cooked till about soft. And what kind of rice do you recommend? It's really a long grain, sort of a basmati, and so that's real nice. We go ahead and take that, stir that in, coat that rice really well. And from there, we take a little bit of the chicken stock. On the recipe, we can use chicken stock, chicken broth. We can take a little water, add chicken bouillon, and sort of make your own, which a lot of people do. And then we go ahead and cover the rice. And the recipe calls for about 4 cups to this ratio, which is important. And then we bring that to a boil for about 10 minutes. And then we turn the heat down, and all we do at that point is cover it. and let it simmer until everything is soft and cooked.
Yum.
And so if it gets to the point where you open it and the rice is pretty much close to being done, and there's still a lot of liquid, go ahead and take the lid off, crank it up on high heat for a couple minutes, cook that liquid out, and it'll help tighten it up. But here's the finished result over here. This is, again, if you look at it, it looks a lot like jambalaya.
Yes, it does, absolutely.
So it's really similar. And in it also, of course, that's an exorbitant amount of cayenne pepper. So what you have in there is very, very spicy. I'd say probably, well, it's spicy for anybody, I would say. So be careful when you eat it. You can adjust the cayenne pepper to do what you like, but then you garnish it with either a little fresh parsley or a little bit of cilantro or both, and enjoy. Looks
amazing. Thanks so much, Chef, for being with us.
Thank you.
We'll put this recipe online, and we'll be back after the break.